Bob, what do you think of your young guys? You obviously got them extended minutes.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. You know, I want to get Trey in, and he deserves to get in. And it's hard when you haven't played, man. It's hard. We had a couple breakdowns defensively that hurt us. It's hard to run anything with him and Derek in there because they both really haven't been around that long. But then it was okay. We just gotta keep working with them and hopefully try to get them better.
Coach, can you just talk about the decision to keep East out?
You're too young to understand, but those guys, all of those guys are like my kids, just like all the guys that I've had in the past. And as a parent, sometimes you want more for your children than they want for themselves, and that's a very frustrating situation to be in. And I expect more from those guys sometimes than I don't want to speak for them. I don't want to say than they expect for themselves because I don't know that, but we got to all be on the same page. Well, we all got to be working for the same goal.
Is there going to be an opportunity for those guys to get back on the same page?
We're going to practice tomorrow at 1. I would assume so. I don't have a doghouse. I mean, you guys think I'm mean and I got a doghouse, and I don't have a doghouse. I've never had a doghouse. I'm at times a very frustrated parent.
Well, the hardest thing going through something like this, not the X's and O's, but keeping the team together, especially when you have to bench a couple of guys and that.
Well, Bob, it's been an incredibly trying and frustrating year for a lot of reasons, and we had sags, we didn't have sags, and then we had sags again, and then we didn't have sags, and then we haven't had sags for a long time. We had Beetle, and then we didn't have Beetle, and then we had Beetle, and we didn't have Beetle, and you can't do anything about injuries. It's just that it was like they healed up enough to play, and then they got hurt again, and it's hard to have any kind of continuity that way. And then Derek comes in, and it's the second semester, and it's now you're trying to coach your team, but at the same time you're trying to teach him what he needs to do to be able to come in and help us, and obviously that's been worth it. I mean, what's he get, 15 and 15 today? That's a pretty good day's work, particularly when we don't throw him the ball. So yeah, I mean, it's been hard. I mean, we take Trey out of the red shirt situation because I thought we were going to need him, and he's deserved some playing time. It's just been a lot of stuff that maybe we haven't managed as well as what we needed to. I don't know. I mean, I don't know really honestly what else you do. But I do think this. I think we're talented enough that we can make a run. I really do. We haven't shown that, but I think we are. We just stub our toe constantly. We'll go through those spells where we don't score, where we just come down and throw the ball away, do careless things with the ball, and we don't rebound. Other people go on runs, and then we're fighting uphill. We gotta stop those. You know, we didn't have that problem for a while.
Coach, I understand, you know, you can't just wave a magic wand and have everything be fixed, but if you could somehow, if this team could just become better, you know, sitting down, guarding, would that fix a bulk of what you want?
That would fix a lot of it. I mean, we've fooled around with 2-3 zone. We've fooled around with 1-3-1. You can't 2-3 zone those guys. They shoot it too well, and they shoot it too deep. They're going to spread you. I mean, really, them spreading us didn't hurt us as much as it hurts most people. They didn't back cut us, and Trey got back screened, but they got a lot of skill. Our defense wasn't good, don't get me wrong, but we can't go through those spells where we don't score. That's what kills us, and likely just outmanned us. He just totally outmanned us, physically outmanned us.
What was Trey's reaction when you told him he was going to play? Is it a discussion, or is it just get in there? I mean, do you ask him, or do you just tell him?
I don't remember. He was excited. I mean, obviously he's excited. And then I think you kind of see flashes of what he can do. I mean, he made a great straight line drive, got fouled, missed a free throw. But he's our most athletic guy. I mean, it's not even a discussion.
Coach, what were your thoughts on Beatles' performance? Anything different from the first half to the second half that you saw?
Well, I thought if we were going to have a chance, we had to have in the second half, and I didn't need him in foul trouble. So I thought we could just, stay in touch. We get back him back in, and we could score the ball a little more easy. And we did. I mean, but so did they. That's the problem.
What gives you the greatest hope that you can make the run that you mentioned?
Well, I think our players, we're not some of those people out there, but we've got some players, they've got to play. They've got to, and everybody's got to play together. And what gives me the most hope is I'm pretty good at what I do.
You had mentioned Derek's passing, the post in the pass, and they doubled him a lot. It looked like in the first half, happy with the way that he was able to get it out.
But now he passes it well. He passes it too much. We at times pass up a 3 or 4 footer to get a 3 that we haven't made. So I would just as soon he go ahead and score the ball.
I don't know if you've mentioned this before I got in here, but
I know you were exceedingly late.
yeah, well, I move slow nowadays, much like some people on the court. Anyway, where do you go forward with? How do you go forward with Weston and Hazer from here? How do you handle that?
Bob. I don't hold grudges. I'm not that kind of person. I don't really appreciate people holding grudges against me. I'm not going to hold any grudges. I mean, it was something that I thought we had to do, and we did it, and it's over with. It's over with. We start fresh tomorrow.
Moving forward,
Are you faced with the question of, when it comes to handling minutes and that kind of thing, of playing for now or playing for, developing, playing for the future? Are you faced with that at all?
Explain future. Are you talking about later on this year or?
That or next year?
No, I'm not worried about next year. I'm worried about this year. It would be really unfair of me to say we're playing for next year. So, I mean, we need to play those young guys because there's going to be situations we're going to have to go deep into the bench. I mean, that happens over the course of a long season. Guys get hurt. Guys are sick. I mean, and you would know what we went through. I think it was a year ago when we had the flu epidemic, and so you just can't take those guys and not play them for 15 games and then throw them in and say go get them. That doesn't work very well.
Bob, we've seen a lot more of Jermaine Haley over the last month or so. How would you rate his performance and maybe how comfortable he is out there right now?
I think the biggest compliment that you can give him is that you don't notice him. You notice some of those guys, and not for a positive deal. You don't notice them. So, we all wish he would score it a little more. I think he's capable of scoring it a little more. But he hasn't been our problem. Jermaine hasn't been our problem. And I say that, and I look, and no, that wasn't him. That was Chase. He's 4 for 6, misses a 3, 2 for 2 from the foul line, gets 7 rebounds. That's pretty good for a point guard.
Bob, anything new on Konate, and do you think he plays this year? Any expectations?
I don't have any idea. I saw today was off of crutches, and so now he's, I guess the non-weight bearing portion of the rehab is over with. So that's all I don't know any more than you know.
Anything else?
Hey Bob, you talk about how frequently you don't really have 4 fouls or 5 fouls. You have 4. I wonder if the first half you don't really have 2, you have 1 because your next one you come off. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like Beetle gets his second sometimes early, and then you all miss his offense. And I mean, he's a defender that can kind of do some of the things you want, but he doesn't do you any good at the bench.
I think he got 1 on a block charge, which he's been the best. He's been the best charge taker I think that I've ever had. He's probably been the best charge taker in the Big 12. Better than the charge that they called today on him. We got to have him, Mike. I mean, we got to have him down the stretch or we can't win. I mean, that's a guy who, if they're going to foul somebody, we want them to foul him. He's an 88% free throw shooter, and he's probably better than that. He gives you everything he can give you. I don't, but I mean, he went through a spell where he wasn't very coachable, but it was because of his injuries, because he wanted to play and really wasn't capable of playing the way that he wants, the way that he's accustomed to playing. And that's frustrating, and he was very frustrated. This is as healthy as he's been, I think, since the season started.
Coach, thank you.
Mm-hmm.